Okidoki. This is Inda Karane. She comes from the anime The 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You. She is what you describe as a tsundere, someone who switches between emotionally cold to emotionally hot. Basically, she's a big old liar, trying to hide the fact that she's super duper lovey-wovey with the man she's fallen for. Everything that comes out of her mouth is a fabrication of how she truly feels. Not one lick of truth escapes that tongue. That's all you really need to know about her character, there's nothing more to see here. This is Inda Karane. She comes from the anime The 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You. She is what you would describe as a tsukkomi, someone who acts as the punchline for whatever joke someone else sets up. Basically, she bluntly points out whatever ridiculous or insane comments the other characters make. Everything that comes out of her mouth is the honest truth about how she feels, ready to correct whatever misconceptions escape the tongue of her fellow cast. Hang on, how can she be a tsundere, someone who's known to lie a lot, and a tsukkomi, someone known to be very honest? I guess she's defying her character trope? 100 Girlfriends is a harem anime where our main character Rentarou discovers that he has 100 soulmates, each one he needs to go out with, or they die a horrible, gruesome death. You hear that and your first reaction is probably, 100 girlfriends? That's like way too many. Why would I watch an anime about 100 boring, generic, cookie-cutter characters? It's hard to imagine that each and every girl will be anywhere close to fleshed out, right? I wonder why I'm making this video. Assuming you didn't skip the intro like an absolute sociopath, the dichotomy of Karane is pretty interesting. I am taking liberties with the two character tropes that she embodies. Tsukkomi aren't always truthful, tsundere don't always lie, but it's funny how often Karane switches from liar liar pants on fire to I will not hesitate to call out your bullshit. Like, she's actually pretty confrontational. When Shizuka was nervous about joining the Rentarou family, Karane kind of starts a fight with her, getting angry that she's holding back from touching and kissing, and telling her that they're all equals and she should be more honest about what she wants. Ironic coming from a tsundere, I know, but it's definitely interesting to hear that from a character that is supposed to embody the opposite of that. Hanazono Hakkari, the girl that is introduced with Karane, is also pretty interesting. She is what you describe as a deredere, or a maiden in love. She's basically the opposite of Karane, unafraid to tell her crush that she loves them, with this sort of cutesy innocent personality to match. However, if you've seen the anime, you'll probably realize that Hakkari breaks her trope as well, in two different ways. The first one, while derederes are very open about their feelings, Hakkari is perhaps a bit too open. There's really no way to say it nicely, but she's an absolute degenerate. Like, oh my god, she is down bad. Since deredere roughly translates to love struck, Hakkari might as well be deredere because she just wants to make love. She's kind of dangerous. The second one, you kind of assume most derederes are just blinded by love, so they can come off as a little ditzy or scatterbrained. Which, yeah, that can describe Hakkari. She's always the first one on board whenever Rentarou introduces a new girlfriend. I love him as much as the next person, but you are way too accepting of polygamy, Hakkari. However, contrary to her reckless pursuit for love, she's actually quite the schemer. The amount of times Hakkari has meticulously planned out how to get Rentarou to get handsy is too many to count, like breaking off the ends of a box of Pocky sticks so that she has to hold it in her mouth and has to play the Pocky Kiss game. She's actually quite deceitful for someone so open about her feelings. Even the way she acts is all a calculated ploy so that Rentarou finds her cute.
上目遣い、可愛い仕草で声を高めに。レンタロウくん、テヘペロ。こちらは計算され尽くした可愛さ、いわゆるぶりっ子。
Makes sense why these two were introduced at the same time. Hakkari and Karane embody both honest and dishonest traits, but in the complete opposite direction from each other. And you can't mention Hakkari without also mentioning her mother, Hanazono Hahari. She's actually the easiest example of how 100 Girlfriends defies character tropes. When we first meet her, she orders Hakkari to break up with Rentarou, basically acting like this evil helicopter mom trying to separate the happy couple just because she disapproves of the Rentarou family.
Actually, I think it's normal to not want your daughter to date someone going out with 4 other girls.
But when Rentarou tries to break Hakkari out, we get the greatest plot twist of all time when we find out Hahari is also one of Rentarou's 100 soulmates. Faced with this realization, what does the strict mother decide to do? Well... Turns out the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Also, if you're weirded out by the fact that a mother and daughter are going out with the same guy, or that a 29-year-old woman is dating a 16-year-old boy, Yoshimoto Shizuka is what you would describe as a dandere, or someone who's very shy, timid, and a bit of a quiet character. So quiet, in fact, that she just doesn't talk at all, using her favorite fantasy book to indicate what she's saying.
あなたは一体何を探しにこちらへ。私はそれを手伝う所存であった。
So I guess she's a bit of a scaredy cat, right? Doesn't want to put herself out there? Well, after Shizuka switches over to an audiobook app to speak, you might have noticed that she started to refer to others as brother or boss man.
この屋敷の警備は厳重だ。気を引き締めていこう。
Kind of transitioning from the medieval language of a storybook to sounding a bit like a Yakuza member, which actually makes a lot of sense for a character, because just like Dominic Toretto, Shizuka puts family first. During one episode, Shizuka ends up getting caught in a man-made tornado and left gliding through the air, as you naturally do, and spots a flower bouquet that the others trying to catch to win a competition. With no hesitation, she instantly jumps to grab it, paying no attention that she's suspended several meters above ground. When the Rentarou family sneaks in to break Hakkari out, they get confronted with a guard dog. Shizuka is unable to get away, and in an act of bravery, decides to sacrifice herself so that the others can get past them. For a shy and timid girl, Shizuka very often goes out of her comfort zone, even putting herself in danger for the sake of family. Again, defying what we usually expect from her character trope. In the opposite corner, Yakuza Kusuri is a drug dealer. Or more accurately, she's a really gifted chemistry student. It's a little hard to tell sometimes. Kusuri is actually the hardest to fit into this video because she doesn't instantly remind you of a common character trope. Like, how many gifted chemists who also know how to make unique drugs do you know? However, you might realize that Kusuri is actually a play on the child prodigy, that super smart kid that skipped grades and already has achievements that surpass many of her older peers, which, to no one's surprise, Kusuri defies that as well. Child prodigies are often loner types, unable to connect with others around them due to a difference in age and intelligence, which we find out does kind of fit Kusuri because everyone else that was in the chemistry club left because of her. But that's not because she's cold or arrogant, quite the opposite actually. She's always happy to share her inventions, to the point where she actually roofies everyone she meets. She is an actual menace, a threat to society, especially when her drugs break the laws of physics, like turning you into a human magnet or giving you the ability to control your hair. She could probably turn the entire Rentarou family into the Avengers. Nay, she herself is an Avengers level threat. She could take over the world or destroy it just as easily. The fate of our planet lies in the whims of this mad scientist. Also, she's actually not a child prodigy. She only looks 8 years old because of a failed immortality drug. She's actually the second oldest girlfriend in the anime, older than Rentarou and only beaten by Hahari, the mother who's in her late 20s. Actually, I probably could have started with this. She defies the child prodigy trope by actually being 18 years old. That would have been so much easier than trying to power scale her. Which leaves us with the last and what I think is the best example of defying character tropes. AI Nano. Nano is a cool beauty, an ice queen, a kuudere. She often gets compared to an android due to being both smart, emotionless, and obsessed with efficiency.
AI さん、実験だから教科書はいらな。ういってもしゃってる。
顕微鏡で見るより効率的。
そういう問題。
When she finds out that she has a crush on Rentarou, she quickly asks him out, and then rejects him just as quickly, because love is meaningless. Dating would only get in the way of studying and getting into a good university. Who wants that mushy baby making shit? Get that out of here. But Rentarou, not giving up without a fight, convinces Nano to go out on one date, on the promise that if he can't win her over, he'll give up on her. So they go to the theme park. We get some funny scenes of Nano getting exceedingly more and more confused about what's the deal with theme park rides? The spinning teacups just go around in circles. What the heck? Rentarou, trying his best, even decides to take some Polaroid photos as he tries to show Nano a good time. We do get this sneak peek at what Nano is actually like when we discover in the Ferris wheel that she's actually afraid of heights, which leads to this really cute scene of them holding hands, even interlocking fingers, all to help comfort Nano. The date finishes, Nano admits to having fun, but still doesn't see the point in doing something that doesn't directly contribute to her grades. Dejected, Rentarou gathers all the photos he took, takes out a lighter, and decides to burn these meaningless memories. I think this is one of the most well-written romance scenes I've watched from 2023. Seeing how Nano's entire worldview gets shattered by this ingenious ploy from Rentarou. It marks a very noticeable change for her as well, as she soon becomes one of the most silliest and aggressive girlfriends to date. Right after they start going out, she instantly pulls Rentarou in for a kiss, starts competing with Hakkari on selling their assets, getting too embarrassed to give Rentarou mouth-to-mouth, almost sacrifices her hair to Kusuri's hair control / balding medicine, and constantly joins in with everyone's antics, like when the girls decide to try and peek at Rentarou while he's bathing.
やめたまえ。てめえらの主様を失望させることになっても構わねえんだな。あーん。バレさえしなければ理論上被害者は出ない。でも
I think what really makes 100 Girlfriends so amazing is how it's able to expand each and every girl beyond their initial gimmick, while still making it all very in character to their character trope. Before they even started going out, Rentarou had accidentally cut himself, which Nano responds to by putting his finger in her mouth and licking the wound, telling us that she's using her saliva to disinfect. Which I don't think I need to tell you, but don't do this, it might lead to infection, which Nano herself points out later. But it does get you thinking. I guess Nano was always capable of being this silly little goober. She was never just a kuudere or just a character trope. None of the girls were. We got to explore every girlfriend because of Rentarou's efforts. He spent an entire night looking for 2 pink 4-leaf clovers because he knew Karane and Hakkari liked romantic gestures. He spent several nights transcribing a book, word by word, to an audio app so that Shizuka could have an easier time talking to others. He planned an entire day to help Nano discover the meaning in just enjoying herself. He helped Kusuri after she screwed up and infected all the girlfriends with the kiss zombie medicine. He broke into the Hanazono mansion to help Hakkari escape, and was able to make it out by winning over Hahari with his sheer dedication. The reason why each of these girls are able to defy their character tropes is because Rentarou was willing to see them for who they truly are. And isn't that the true meaning of 100 Girlfriends? That judging a book by its cover can only get you so far, but actually taking the time to learn about them, to not be satisfied with a shallow understanding, to really dedicate yourself to truly connecting with your partner. Maybe that's the real beauty of falling in love. And thanks for watching. I really just wanted to talk about 100 Girlfriends. This is genuinely such a great rom-com, and we're only at girlfriend number 6. Even in the manga at the time of writing, we're up to 27, and it's still doing an amazing job of juggling every single girl, fleshing them all out and giving them all the screen time they deserve. It really makes you think that this crazy manga can actually pull off all 100 girlfriends, and I'm excited to see more from it, along with that very anticipated season 2. If you're still here, I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe for more videos, check out my Discord and Patreon in the description below. Please join my Discord, I am so lonely. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you all have a good rest of your day.